Since really the dawn of time, man has lusted and quenched for just really about three things, and that's having multiple women, conquering nations, and getting peaky biceps. And today I'm going to show you how to do that. How to get peaky biceps, that is, not the other two. Although with peaky biceps, you may be able to just achieve your Roman dreams. Okay, so bicep training. Lots of ways to do bicep training. Specifically if you're someone that's wanting to develop the short head of the bicep, the peak that we all see. And if you want to sort of get that peak looking like, a ski slope that someone's coming down it, then here is one exercise potential that you can work into your routine that I think is quite good, quite gives you good connectivity to the muscle group and to the short head. I'm going to show you how to activate it better as well. Because again, I see a lot of guys that train biceps 3 times a week. In the gym, heavy curls, whatever the situations are, and they never seem to get biceps. So let's take one alternative, and this is the standing cable curls with single handles, okay? We're not going to do just one side of a bar. It's going to be dual cables, okay? And I'm going to show you how to interact more with the short peak. Now, peak development of a bicep. Is some of it genetics? Yes. Some guys just don't have the genetics for the peak. Or if they're not seeing it, it's a body fat issue. When my body fat goes quite low, my peak's quite elevated. When it's not, it's kind of murkied with a load of water. So keep that in mind. But not every guy has it. Some people have more the kind of like longer bicep on show. Some guys have more of a peak. But you can definitely develop it a lot more. And I'm going to show you. So I want you to, first of all in the video, I want you to take your arm like this. All right. And this is a good instinctual way of how to feel different areas of your muscles connect and stuff. So if you put your finger on your bicep, okay, and your hand very neutral like this, as I start to turn your wrists towards you, so I want you to put your baby finger to the opposite side of the wall, okay? The way that doesn't feel natural, the way that feels like someone's trying to actually bend your wrist off. If you're in like karate class or Krav Maga, when it comes to wrist manipulations, when people grab your wrist and try to twist it this way, that's what I want you to do, okay? Finger on the bicep, start to turn. The more I turn, right, if I start to flex, I can feel that short head very connected and elevated. I can actually feel it, right? It's very engulfed, it's tight. If I turn my wrist like this, same thing, not as much. That's because my long head's more activated than my short head. So if we want to train the short head, very simple. We want to have that wrist supinate as much as we can to the ceiling, or if we can twist it even more around, okay? Not to turn in. Now that may seem obvious. A lot of guys, fundamentally know the basics of, okay, this is long head, it's a hammer, this is short head. But when I see guys doing this sort of single curl to the curls, they tend to sort of start with the kind of neutral hammer, and then they start to turn at the end. The turn at the end's doing fuck all. It's doing nothing. Because you haven't started the hardest part of the movement from the start. You've cheated it up. So we need to keep it very strict. And I think cables are a good way for doing this. Because more importantly, in a cable, the resistance profile is kind of similar the whole way down, right? On a dumbbell, you could kind of do this first movement all day. That doesn't look right. You could do that first movement all day. You could swing it. You could even take a 40 kilo dumbbell and move it. The hardest part is when it starts to get up to the second half. Cables, it's hard from the start. So let's see what this exercise looks like. So we're going to put the cables quite low. Now you can have the cables hip length, walk forward, foot level, different areas of where the attachment is placed on the machine. It's going to train to shorten range, the lengthened range. Don't worry too much about that. It's for what you're trying to do, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to step out a wee bit forward. Again, we can do this quite close. You'll notice that it feels a lot more different than if we step back. Play around with the angles to see what you prefer. Instinctive training. Practice and teach yourself. So chest is always out, shoulders back. Okay, that's cool. What we want to do is we want to have these elbows very locked and fixated. It's right in there. I don't want these elbows moving anywhere else. The only thing you should be moving is kind of your wrist up to your front delt, okay? And we want to start with the wrists ridiculously sprawled like this, like I showed you. Really ridiculously like that. Baby finger back, and I want the most cleanest curls like that, with the wrist as far as you can like that. And you're going to start to feel, even on the lightweight, it's very difficult, and the short head is really activated. Really activated. And of course, when it starts getting hard and you start to fatigue, you can then always slightly with the wrist, turn it a little bit more in front of you and move from there. And that's still going to work the short head. It just gives you a little bit more to squeeze out. Okay? So it's quite simple enough. Same thing with the dumbbells. Okay? If you want to do dumbbells and not do the cables, although I would recommend the cables, twist the wrist out as far as you can. Very isolated. Now, again, will you be able to move impressive weight this way? No. Will you build a lot more? Will you put a lot more stimulus onto the short head of the bicep? Absolutely, more so than guys doing this. And I just want to take you a thumb rule. You may be looking around at guys going, well, I don't really see guys doing it that clean. You know, most guys are just doing standard curls. Okay, well, look at them same guys, the ones that train biceps 3 or 4 times a week. You'd think training biceps 3 or 4 times a week, you'd have fucking huge biceps when they develop. A lot of guys don't seem to. They just seem to have like a watery arm and not really clear definition of the bicep. Again, ask yourself that question because it's not accurate training they're doing. A lot of it's cheated, you know. But anyway, if you like that tip, there's tons of other tips, nutrition tips, vlogs, training over the channel. Don't forget to check it out. If you have any comments below, hit them up and I'll certainly get back to you. But give that tip a go. Just remember, baby fingers out as far as you can. Cleanest motion ever. Biceps is such a small muscle group. We don't need to hammer too much. I would prefer taking medium weights to higher reps just because there's a lot of sensitive joint areas around there. Heavy curling can lead to a lot of elbow issues and stuff like that there, and even front delt pains. So just be very accurate with your bicep training. I promise you, you will develop a set of tennis balls on your arm. Anyway, orcs, I'll catch you next time.